Okay, so in this tutorial, we're going to take a standard 10 centimetre polystyrene ball and turn it into a luxury multi-toned teal bauble. Let's get started. So material, we're going to use this beautiful sparkly lycra. So it's got a nice stretch in there and it's all glittered, so that's beautiful. Quite thin, so not too difficult to work with. We're also going to use what I class as my mermaid material, which is this stunning sequined material. And again, it's got a little bit of a stretch in. Working with sequins does make it a little bit harder, but I'll show you all my tips and tricks to help that apply to the baubles. And then we've got this nice teal, and this is crushed stretch velvet. And again, we can work that nicely in. So all three colours together, we're going to make our teal bauble. So to get started, we're going to take a 10 centimetre polystyrene ball and a nice sharp craft knife. And going from the very top of the bauble, we're going to go all the way down. Now we don't need to measure, we don't need any shapes cut out. We're just going to do a guide all the way around and back to the top. Okay. And then what we want to do is create like a kiss across the top here. So we're going to go and make a kiss. So you've got a nice X along the top. And again, just keep it nice and steady. Follow it all the way around until you reach back to where you started. Okay, so you can see now we've got a nice cross in the bauble. And then we're going to go straight through the middle, all the way down. Now we're not measuring, we're not having to draw guidelines. It takes all the fun out of the process and you'll end up throwing the bauble away before you've even got started. So we're just going to mark it through. Now the trick is when we come to add the detail and put the ribbon on towards the end, even if this has gone slightly narrow on one and wider on the other, when you put the detail on at the end, you can't see any of that. So these are just our grooves to apply the material, and as long as you can eyeball it and it almost looks equal all the way around, that's all you need, because you're going to have like a 15mm allowance of any wiggles along the way. So don't overstress about that. I used to mark them, cut out little templates. By the time you've even got to this stage, you're probably an hour and a half into the process and you'll be losing the will to live. So take your craft knife, be confident, just do a guide. And the more you do with these, the more perfect it will get. So I'm probably now on my 1001 bauble. And that's quite all right. So we're going to start with the most easiest of the materials. I always say work with stretch crushed velvet. If you go for crushed velvet, it just means it's got this slightly more fleckle in the texture, in the colour, and it just means it's the nice stretchy one. So if you're looking for fabrics online, if it says crushed velvet, you know it's going to be quite a thin material. It's not going to be thick curtain type velvet or for settees and things like that. So nice thin stretch velvet, and they often call it crushed velvet, so that's the one you want to go for. Okay, so next I'm going to show you my secret craft tool. This is a stainless steel curved nail file. And believe it or not, I've tried 1,000,001 tools and craft tools to use to help me apply the fabric. And this is by far the best. So you want a slightly curved end on it. It's metal, so it's nice and sturdy. But look how thin that is. So it's not going to leave a big groove when you're pushing it into the bowl. Now this is my faithful friendly one, which as you can see, I've padded and cushioned from the many baubles I've made. I just find it doesn't then rub on your hand as you're working. But yeah, adapt yours how you see fit, but it goes from this to this, but they are exactly the same underneath. Okay. So first of all, we're going to work with our crushed velvet. I love the colour on this. So we're going to, again, we're not going to cut out templates. We're not going to measure it. We're not going to find a perfect straight side. I've got, this is cut-offs from a previous one I've done. I'm just going to find a straight section, which is wide enough for this segment here that I'm going to start with. We're just going to slightly lay it over the groove. And then using our tool, we're just going to push it down just slightly in the middle on one side. If it helps, you might want to go down your groove with your tool, and just to make it slightly indented and a little bit thicker. Okay, so then if I do that here just to show you, so we're going to go down just to make that groove a little bit deeper and thicker. Now, pulling up at the top, down at the bottom, we're going to work side to side, and that way you're not going to end up with loads of creases. If you go down and then start coming back up, you'll find it creases a lot. So you're going to pull it quite tight, run your tool along until you can feel your groove, she says, under pressure. And then we're just going to push in and work. And as you can see here, I've got a little bit of a lip over here, but that doesn't matter because I'm going to pull it up to the top. I'm going to work it down on either side. And all the way up to the top. And as you work, if you do get any slight creases, you're just going to push it into the groove. Okay, and up to the top. So we've got a nice point there, and it's quite firmly pushed in. And we're going to go down to the bottom. And again, you can see it's starting to curve a little bit here, but it doesn't worry me because just pull it a little bit tighter and push into the groove. And that's the best thing when we're working with this crushed velvet. It's why it's always my favourite go-to, because it goes in nice and easy and it's not too many creases and bumps. Now you want to get a small pair of fabric scissors, just that way it's easy to navigate around the material. Also, I don't cut off any material. I used to, and then I ended up with such a leftover of piles of ends that you can't actually use. And what I do now is I just work with a full piece of material. So I tend to get it in 1 metre length, and I just work with it, because if you've got a nice small pair of scissors, we just move it around. We're just going to work. And then you'll find you get so much more out of your fabric. Again, you're not having to measure, you're not having to use templates to cut it all out, and it'll save you so much time. So we cut around. We've now just got a little bit of an overhang. And we're going to take our little secret tool, and we're just going to push inwards. And as I push inwards, I'm slightly going at an angle and underneath, and it'll just firmly stay inside the groove. We just work all the way down, get a nice clean line, and work it all into the middle, and back down the other side, and push hard. You want it to stay firm, we don't want it popping out. And there we go, we've got our first segment covered. So then with this pattern, we're going to take the opposite segment and do exactly the same. So we're going to, first of all, I'll just take my tool, work it down, get the grooves in. Just makes it a little bit easier. And we're going to take our fabric, overlay the edge, and just go. So 3/4 of the way down, pull across, run your tool along until you find the groove. I tend to just push in a little bit where I find it, and then start to pull up and out with fabric. There we go. I'm going to work it in. Same again at the bottom. I've got a little bit of rouged material there. We're just going to pull it out and down. Same again on this side. You can always get a nice pinpoint edge there. Makes it look really nice on the decoration. Get our little scissors. And we're going to cut the excess material off. We don't need it particularly flat or straight. We're just going to cut that off, crinkled edge, and then we're just going to push it all in. And once you get used to doing this, this actually becomes quite a tranquil, nice little craft hobby to do. I find it so soothing making these. I can sit in front of the TV and make loads and just relax. Might not feel like that the first time you do it, but honestly, the more you do, it does get really relaxing. So I often use one of these. This is basically just a ribbon roll, and I've just taken the top off. But look, just stops your ball from rolling around all the time. Next, we're going to work with the stretch lycra, with the sparkle or the glitter. So if we take an edge, we're going to layer it up against the other material, just slightly over like we did before, and then press in on either side and stretch it across and find the groove. That's it, I'm working. I'm going to pull it tight along the top, and it's lovely thin material is this, so it's nice and easy to work with. You don't want to overstretch it though, because it can go quite white in between the grains of the fabric, so stretch so that it's nice and flat, but don't overstretch it because it does go a bit see-through. And then down to the bottom on either side, a little at a time. Get that nice pinpoint edge, nice sharp corners, and taking your fabric scissors and cut off all the little bits of extra material. And again, we're not doing any shapes or cutouts or sizes. We're just going to cut what we need and move on. Not stress ourselves out and not spend ages cutting out templates. And then we can go down and push in. So some fabrics you'll find you can just go along and it will go into the groove. Other bits you want to push down. So just feel and work with how you think it needs to go. But look at that. Love the glittery material, it's so good. I've got this in a gold as well, and a pink actually. They look really nice, but the gold's very nice. Okay, so working down and along on each middle section of this segment. I'm going to pull it up tight at the top and push along in the groove. And there we go. And then we're going to pull tight at the bottom and push down on either side. And this material is almost as nice as the velvet to work with, apart from we get covered in glitter. Which, to say I do a lot of Christmas decorations, I'm not a glitter lover. I like how it looks, I just don't like working with it, and I definitely don't like touching it. This isn't too bad because it's really thin, but any large pieces of glitter definitely get my teeth on edge. Okay, and then we're going to work in all these extra bits of material. So we've got a nice clean line. And work down the other side. And pushing at the top. So we want a nice clean line. Sometimes the polystyrene you will find it starts to lift, but just keep it in place and push them back down. But look at that. Look at the sparkle. Oh, I love that. I do love a teal bauble. Right. Next, we're going to work with the sequined fabric. Look at that. It's got beautiful colour tones as this. Greens, teals, blues. It's really nice. However, this is when we need a little bit more patience because the sequins are obviously hard. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to work with. But we're going to use the same technique. So look, it has still got a stretch in. And layer it just over the edge. Take our magic tool and push in, and you will find, can you hear it? So you are actually breaking some of the sequins as you push it in, and it's harder to find where the groove is all the way over. And you're going to have to use a firm prod, but look, this is where it gets more difficult because it's a firm material to work with. We have to push them out a little at a time, and again you might want to just lift it a little bit, pull it out and work down. And this is what you'll find if you work with cottons, is that it just takes a little bit more working in. But again, pull it tight. I'm just going to push firmly down along the groove. And I save this one to last because when you're working up against fabrics that are already in place, it makes it easier to go in. So if we started with this, we're also then working with trying to get it into the groove as well. So if you use your hardest fabric last, it makes it easier. And you might find that it pops out a bit more, this material. But look at all the sequins. But don't worry. Now you might want less excess on this because it is harder to push in. So I'm just going to go a little bit closer with this one. I'm a tidy worker. I need my workspace tidy to keep going, so I will keep tidying. And then a firm press to get those in. And into the middle. So it's a little bit harder to work with. It is leaving a bit more of a groove than when we work with the thinner materials, but we don't worry about that because when we put the satin trim on after, they're all going to be covered up. So yep, just work it down. Nice firm. It's our little workout for the day, you see. We don't need to feel guilty for sitting down because we're working our muscles. And there we go. Get all the extra sequins off. But it does look lovely with the sparkle, sequins. Ah, beautiful. Right, on to the other side. So again, you've seen the repetition of the process, so slightly layer it over. We're going to go down on each side. And so again, because this has got stretching, it's still not a lot nicer to work with than most cottons. I mean, you can get cottons with a stretching, but if you go for something with a print on, they don't tend to have much in them. We want to get them really, a cotton with a pattern on, you'd have to get really flat and straight and even. So there's my workout. I'm going to cut the excess fabric, if it lets me in. And sequins flying everywhere. There we go. Quick tidy. And then we're going to push in firmly all the extra bits. And this is the best bit now, because as you get the last one in, down the other side. Bit more of that workout. Okay, so as we've got this in, give it a nice tap. Look, it's coming together. There we go. Sparkles, the velvet, and the sequins. Lovely.